In this video, we're going to learn how to make this really cute straw bead jewelry. This is really fun. You can make it with things you probably have around your house right now, and it just takes a few minutes, and it's fun to make and fun to give away. So for this project, you're going to need some drinking straws. We're going to be using some plastic kind of fun color straws here. You can use paper straws too. Totally fine, whatever you have. Now I have some fun colors. You can get rainbow colors. You can get plain straws. They come in stripes, whatever you like for your jewelry. You'll need a pair of scissors and then some yarn. We're using some medium weight yarn. If you're not sure what kind of yarn you have, you can look at the yarn label and look for the yarn ball and the number. We're using a medium 4. I wouldn't go too much thicker than that because it won't fit through the opening of the straw as well. But you can go thinner. You could use some baker's twine. You could use even some embroidery floss, whatever you have on hand. And then as an option, so some kids will be able to get this yarn through our straw bead, which I'm going to show you how to make all this in a minute. But if you're having trouble, older kids could use a yarn needle. A yarn needle is a larger needle than a sewing needle, and you could thread your yarn through the needle to help get through these beads. You could also take a piece of tape if you like. Now again, these are optional. Some kids might just be able to string it right on there, but if you're having trouble with your yarn kind of separating or fraying apart, you can get a little piece of tape. This is washi tape, but you could use Scotch tape, or you could use masking tape. And let me zoom in so you can see what I'm going to do here. What you'll want to do, if you want to kind of strengthen up the end of your yarn here, is to place your tape on the end. And see how I sort of did it at an angle? Do that at an angle. And the trick is just get this tape really tight and do it at an angle and kind of pinch and work your way down the piece of yarn. And that will give your yarn end a little bit more sturdiness and will keep your yarn from kind of fraying. And what you can do if you have the end, if it's a little bit messy, you can just give it a little fresh cut, and that will help send that yarn through your bead. Okay? So let's make some beads. I'm going to snip this off so we can start fresh. So I have some here that I've already made, and we're going to make some more. I just like to kind of mix up the colors, make them roughly the same length if you like. Now the bend part of our straw, you can leave that on there and it kind of makes like a fun little like texture in your bead. If you don't like that, you know, feel free to leave those out. But you can use the bendy little ridges if you like too. And then we're just cutting, some of them are flying everywhere, but we're just cutting some beads here. And I made a bracelet already. We're going to make a necklace together, okay? So what we want to do is, whoops, I have one more straw. Go ahead and cut your other straws, and you can kind of estimate. And if you have any beads left, you can save them for other jewelry projects. So I'm going to grab we're going to use the needle. I showed you the tape method. We're going to use the needle method. So what we're going to do is I threaded my needle, and I'm going to pull out a piece of yarn about the size of the necklace I want, and then I'm going to add a few inches just to make, so I can tie it later. Okay, you want it to be a little bit longer than you think. You can't uncut yarn, but you can always trim it shorter, okay? So you don't have to tie a knot at the other end. So what we're going to do is we're just going to grab our beads, and you can just start kind of stringing them on. Now you can do a pattern. I'm going to do the turquoise, this lime green, and this blue. I'm going to sort of do like a little color pattern here. I didn't do a color pattern for this one. It was more random. But we're going to do like a little color pattern and just quickly doing some beads. Now, if you're doing this with very small children, again, the needle may not be the best option, but for older kids, this is a wonderful introduction to hand sewing. So you could try getting them familiar with threading a needle and using it that way. So I'm just quickly threading the beads on here. And when you're doing this with children, you know, you want to do it slower than I'm doing. I'm just doing it really, really quick so you can see here. And you can make yourself a very nice long necklace so that you can just kind of slip it over your head and wear it that way. I made the bracelet so you could just kind of slip it right on. And you can check every so often and see how long it's getting. But these really do make cute beads. They look very pretty. And no painting is required. This is like a really nice little quiet, mess-free project. And then once your necklace gets as long as you would like it to be, what we're gonna do, and if you have some extra beads, you can save them for another project. I'm gonna add a few more on here just to get a little bit more length on my necklace. I'm gonna put one on each side here. And so when you're finished, you can kind of grab the two ends here. And what we're going to do is grab both ends in our hands. Now, if you're doing this project with really young children, they may need help with the knot part. But you want to sort of like push the beads down a little bit, tie the knot. I like to take 2 strands around both fingers. And then just kind of like hold, while I'm holding the knot, just kind of like slide it down and sort of snug it down against the beads. And then I like to do one more knot, just because anytime you have something you're making that you're going to wear, it's going to take a little bit more wear and tear because it's going to be moving around constantly with you as you wear it. So you want to just make sure your knots are nice and secure. Now trim your ends. And then what I like to do is take one of these beads and sort of slide my beads around and cover the knot, just so it kind of disappears, okay? And now our necklace is finished. So we have a necklace and a bracelet set. So this is a really fun gift to make for kids to wear. They can make this as gifts, and you could even do seasonal colors. You could do like Halloween colors or Christmas colors or spring colors for Mother's Day or something like that. So that is how you make straw bead jewelry. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click that subscribe button to get all the latest sparkle and splatter video updates. Thanks again.